do have a guest, one of the big fashion icons in the studio today, and we'll be introducing him to you in a couple of seconds. This man has done and he'll continue to do, and of course before he came on set, I had one or two talks about him. He calls himself the fashion king. His name is Feron Aaron. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here. It's good to be back to Galaxy. It's been a while.
Oh, back to Galaxy.
Home. Yeah.
Yes, it's safe to say Galaxy is home because from all indications, Galaxy has raised a lot of people, a lot of champions, people who have gone into their various fields and have excelled. And we're still here trying to make sure that we leave our footprints in the sand of time. Now, quickly, I'll be telling you one or two things about Feron Aaron if you do not know who he is. Now, about the designer. Feron Aaron was born in Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria, April 1973. He had his education, studied agricultural economics and extension in the University of Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria, from 1994 to 2001. And then he started sewing after secondary school without any formal training in 1992. And he started making ties and suspenders for men, and they moved on to making dresses for women. Now this part should interest Queen because she's a blogger as well, and she's also a fashionista, so maybe he'll start making stuff for her. Now moving on, he started custom dressmaking business in the early university days in 1994, making clothes for friends, colleagues, and of course students on campus. Let's move over to 2006, where he relocated to Lagos to build the brand Feron Aaron as a Nigerian fashion brand, reasoning that Lagos is the fashion capital of Nigeria. Yes, you know his origin, obviously it's from Akwa Ibom, and he launched October 2012, and he launched Feron Lingerie. He launched that in February 2013, and Feron Aaron Masterpiece launched January 2022 rather, and Feron Aaron launched October 2023. Now these are some of his accolades, some of the things he's done. Quickly, the Nigerian Fashion Show 2004 Abuja, Nigerian Fashion Week 2005 Lagos, the Spirit of Couture 2005 Uyo, and Feron Fashion Show Power Chapel International 2005 in Uyo. Now if we keep talking about whom this man is, it will never be enough. So yes, we'll start by asking you questions. This is the fashion king.
We're going to drill you.
Feron Aaron, the fashion king. Make sure you put that down.
We're going to drill you.
Yeah.
And you seem like you're ready for it. You're not ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, you're ready.
I like to talk.
Okay, let's go. All right, people refer you as the king of fashion. Who declared you a king?
Okay, it's heritage. Okay.
Heritage.
Yeah, I always believe, I say humorously that anywhere I go, I carry my title. If I go to church, I will decide whether I want to be called a pastor or a bishop in that church. I'll bring it from home. So you make yourself, you create your identity, you give yourself the title you want. But king of fashion, you're not called a king unless you carry some things to royalty.
Okay.
And when we are talking about king, it's not the king, the kingship in the real sense of kingship. Okay, you're a leader. I'm a leader in fashion, let me just put it shortly.
Okay.
By wisdom, by knowledge based, by calling. So that's why I said it's a heritage thing. This is my calling.
Okay, so fashion is your calling.
Yes.
Yeah, because you studied agricultural economy in the University of Uyo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so why?
But I can't remember what crop rotation is anymore.
Okay. So why did you drop your certificate? Because education is
I've
not
not
a
collected
scam.
the certificate from school. It's still there.
It's still there.
Yeah. I came to challenge some Nigerian youths. The moment I finished, I left. I was waiting to finish.
Wow. Did you serve?
No.
Oh,
I
you
wasn't
didn't
a youth when I finished. A youth, I wasn't dependent. I don't define youth by age. I paid my fees at some point through the university. I discovered my calling, my vision, my destiny. So for me, school was holding me down, but I needed to be educated so I can speak all this grammar I'm speaking.
Yeah.
Strike held me down in school. I spent 8 years doing a 5-year professional course. It wasn't funny.
Whoa.
So funny that it's still continuing till now. So I discovered myself. I grew up doing creative things. My mom was sewing, commercially too, but by the time I grew up, she had resigned from the commercial sewing, so just doing it at home. But for me, I think it runs in the blood. So education at some point at the tail end was dragging me. I had discovered myself, researched, and then I couldn't wait for school to finish. Let me launch into it full time.
Okay.
So I didn't need to serve. What am I doing? Something was telling me you will lose it if you live 1 year. And I didn't want the certificate to show you the speed. So I won't be forced to go back someday when I face one trial or the other, which I have, to go back to certificate. I hate employment.
You want to work for
I
yourself?
feel employees are lazy. In my own way, I just feel it's a second form of laziness. They used to laugh at me then in school.
How?
So, I mean, why should you want to be somebody's boy?
Is that what you
Even
think?
yes, that's then. Back then, that's what was driving me. Until I grew up to start employing and I get to find out leadership
exactly.
that, I mean, some people are actually called to be, the ground workers. And then that's my spirit. If you ask me the easiest way to depress me is to tell me to come and work for somebody. I don't know how to put up a resume or write. I only know how to put up a fashion profile. I don't know how to write application and all of that. I've not done it before. So I refuse to serve.
Okay. All right.
All right, that's good. Yes, in the fashion industry, you are referred to as the fashion king, of course.
The king of fashion.
King of fashion, yes.
The title.
Yes, the chieftaincy title and normal title. Yes, that's just us playing ones and twos on him. Now I'll ask you this question. You are also into lingerie.
Yeah.
Now lingerie
He's also into laundry?
Yes.
Yes.
That's one of the things I said. Lingerie is a big thing. Lingerie has made a lot of people who were mediocres become super rich, filthy rich. For example, Saint Fenty, we know her today as Rihanna. She has sold lingerie, different types. Now, let me ask you, for growing up, when you started as a young man and then delving into the lingerie business, what kind of challenges did you face?
You faced a lot of.
Because were you there? Were you
I can
there?
imagine the challenges going to face. So
No, normally.
the hip and the bum measurements.
We are coming to that too.
Yeah.
The lingerie thing, realistically, would be for women. That's something a woman would do. And then when men delve into such things, there's this way they look at you like, why is he doing this? Please give us a lowdown on the challenges you faced whilst you started the lingerie business itself.
Why did you even pick lingerie out of everything?
Okay.
Is it that picked it now?
No, there are different fashion you would have. Maybe suit, tie. You want to pick because you want to hear what you're not supposed to hear.
Hear what
but
I like.
you hear it.
Okay, so let me start by what led me to start the lingerie line.
Okay.
I started fashion far before the lingerie line. At the beginning, I never knew I was going to do lingerie. I never knew some things, so a lot of things developed on the line. What led me to starting a lingerie line like 2013, right? I discovered somehow that Nigerian women and most African women still tie wrapper to sleep. They tie wrapper go bed. Don't ask me how I discovered.
Queen, do you tie
Queen
wrapper?
has to answer that. So I wasn't comfortable. It wasn't for me sexy. It wasn't, I don't know. I love women. I must chip in here that I made my money. I built the foundation. The foundation of my fashion empire, was built with money from women.
Obviously.
Now, woman is so close. Right from campus tailoring that I did. So a lot of the money I made was from females. And so I don't play with them. I do men's wear, women's wear. So, but when I discovered this, it was a challenge. As a creative machine, I think very well, and I started working for the solution. So I said, okay, what should we do? I took up research. I see underwear, I see lingerie, Victoria's Secret, and all of this. And then I said, okay, so there should be I study fashion a lot. So I discovered there is what we call dress code. There's dress code for every event. There's dress code for everything, even picnic, even church.
Even to sleep, there's dress code.
So now said there should be a dress for sleep, a dress for sex, a dress for showing love, a dress for swim. Okay, first of all, how do we dress to sleep? I would tie wrapper. So that if you want drag the wrapper for, it will cut.
Some women even go as far as wearing a deal proper white t-shirt. It's not sexy.
It's not. It's not in this modern world. And I have, I think one of the best gifts I have is a gift of taste. I think it's one of the tools, inborn tools that every fashion designer or designer in any other field should have. The taste, a good taste for aesthetic. So I sat down and did a research, started checking up things and studied. I studied a lot. That's why when you guys said if I'm ready, I laugh. I discovered there are ways, outlined. Oyibo has developed fashion and clothing to a very high level. So I checked some things, read some materials, and now set up. I was sure of what I wanted to do, but I was afraid. So now I'm ready to do a sub line of Feron lingerie. I put up the sketches inspired by my kind of person. I'm a very romantic person, so I just I know there are underwears and lingerie. If you know, is different.
Yes,
it's not underwear. There's a difference. You understand? So I started checking up all those. So I needed. I defined a brand, but it wasn't easy, like you said. The first challenge, I remember going through, I single-handedly, it's not a domain for every designer. And one, I knew it was going to stand me out because not many designers can make lingerie. No tailor that I know in Nigeria, as in the tailor system we use, can cut and sew underwears, not talk of lingerie, So after designing them, sketches, and I had to get the fabrics, and I did the whole collection myself.
Wow.
The very first collection, when I finished my normal day work at night, I think that's when I started developing a side problem that makes me wear glasses, because I was doing intense light. I was passionate. When I finished sewing the collection, who will wear them? I fixed the fashion show. There are things I do, I don't consult people so they don't discourage me. So then when I finished, over 50 lingerie, okay, who will wear them? I've never seen it in Nigeria. I see the very first major lingerie, real, not Ankara bikini. So who will wear them? I've done shows, and despite the sexiness of the shows, and this is real lingerie. Like I always say, they don't really wear pants, wear pants. So I started thinking of all of this. I organized the very first, I called a model scout. Let's put up a model casting, let's get the models. I was just pushy. We gathered the models in a lounge, and then as I always do, I gave them the brief, this is what you're going to do, introduce myself. So who is in? Nobody lifted his hand. I was like, God, I'm finished. I said, this is fashion. I started talking, it's not nudity, it's not pornography, it's not this. it has a mission. Is that this lingerie is you don't forget why I started it. So there is an objective which I'm going to talk about. So this is what we want to do. This is what we want to promote. This is what we want. So it's not safe. It's not. Then by the time I said it, everybody lifted. I said, okay, so let's do. So that's how we got it. We hit the runway, and then it was done. Bam. 2013. It was a wow. It was all over the papers, and me, I was like, I was so stressed backstage of that very show that I think that was the day Goldie died.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I got the message, and I was so stressed that I almost collapsed. Till the first collection was done, we had to break it down. The journalist came to, I was shivering, almost going. So, because a whole lot. Sewing the entire collection and doing all of the planning alone, but it was amazing. It was done. From that day, we are preparing for the 7th edition. We rebranded the show. It became a popular, your station has always been there. Okay, so we rebranded the show. So now the challenge you're talking about is I'm gonna say some major quickly. I'm a Christian. I'm a born again Christian. Church people fought me. Christians fought me. I've had a man, a pastor in a popular church that I used to sew for his family. He saw my broadcast and started. I was joking. I joke a lot. He helped me to fight me physically. That I shouldn't. I said, but the guy, they wear pint. He jokingly, everybody said, oh, they swam, not be heaven, they fly from. And he said, how do you people see things? You understand? I remember being called up in my church choir. I won't mention the church. This is pure professional. The same challenge. I want to to come and face a panel because I'm doing lingerie. Your picture is there. What? There's nothing wrong with this thing. Nothing. Wear pints and all those. Just joked about it. And I actually offered to resign if it affects the image of the choir and all of that. But I later sent in the missions and objectives to let them know that the lingerie collection and line has a singular mission to promote the body image of women and provide proper ways for women to dress for sleep, for love, for swim, and actually for sex. Okay, that's what we do. So every year we show new collections, new ways, new looks. Why? Because marriages are going down. Let's be realistic. Yeah. So we needed things. This is one of the ways to spice things up. Like I always say, no man has the power to resist a woman in a sexy lingerie. So if you're quarreling with your husband and the husband comes back home, meets the woman, the wife back home wearing one sexy lingerie, preparing, that quarrel will end. Men are visual. It was actually designed to spice up.
It depends on the man. If that man is from Abia State, if you like, quarrel with him and wear the sexy lingerie in the world. If you don't say I'm sorry, he's not go near you. But that's
lingerie is a way of saying sorry.
Oh, okay. Yes. When you said that, I noticed the smile on Queen's face. Yeah. Her face lit up. I was like, oh Lord, my God.
Don't worry, I'll give her a set of lingerie.
You see, this is how I take care of you every time. Now I've talked the Fashion King into giving you one of the lingerie sets for you.
When you finish your thing, now we come back to ask.
All right, let me ask you one before Queen goes for you, and then we'll take a quick break. Yes, in this business, you have you've had the pleasure of working with a lot of models.
Yes.
You have slim thick, you have thick, you have normal, you have plus size. Have you had any major scandals? Because in your line of work, these are the things that happen a lot. You've had the opportunity of at least using tape rule to measure waist, measure hand, measure teeth, measure everywhere. Has there been any reason for any scandal, or has there been any scandal at all? And if there was, how did you escape?
I want to ask, have you had one?
You know, that's why we're asking you. We're getting to know you.
So I haven't, and it's a very good question. It's a very serious one, because I remember, I don't want to, let me not say it, because I remember when we were doing audition and some people were caught doing some things in one particular show. So it happens. The fashion industry is a very, how will I say, the sexy one. Is a word we use freely in fashion. So, but then I don't think I have ever had that challenge. Not because I want to promote myself. I always kneel down and thank God. Not just, I'm sure every fashion designer that is a male, even female, can attest to this. The business alone is very, 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 very tempting and challenging. Back in the shop, we are the ones that will tell you things that we get from different people, challenges, advances. You understand? Especially sewing for women. Even with female designers to get, I've witnessed one in my colleague's shop in Spain, trying to interact with a female customer, and she did something, and I mean, we had to talk about it after. So it's something, is a profession that if you are really called into it, you have to ask God, is it that you're equipped with grace for it to be able to, for me it hasn't been a challenge. I audition my models, like you said, because there's a particular look of model I want. I don't like the ultra thing, but we are all inclusive. I like being real. Fashion cooks up so many things and propagates it. Some are very wrong. And for me, I'm a realist. If that thing, that's why you won't see me carry anything tattooed just to look like one. It's not what my head is. It's what fashion, you know, is all about. So I don't need to look anything. So I know I'm a pure artist. None of those things enhance me. So I have a particular grace for women. I've had advances. I've had those challenges are very common. Any designer will tell you. In fact, there was a time I used to pray and fast when I wanted to relocate to Lagos. What I saw and the challenges I was facing in Uyo, my hometown, and I was like, Lagos, big city. God, when I came, I was on fasting every Monday. Every Monday, God help me, I don't want to fall. But because I studied Michael Jackson's life, Kobe Bryant, all the scandals they had, I learned how to manage myself so that I don't want to fall. I must realize my purpose in life. That is so strong. If I audition you, I'm very professional. I dress those models, it's a professional show. So I dress them, like I said, they don't wear anything to wear pants. I dress them because some of them, if you leave them to dress backstage, they will turn it upside down. The one bra or this. So I dress them. And the models, I want to say Nigerian models are fantastic. They scare me with their boldness. Those girls are something else. Right. So I once you finish your job with me, your number, whether it's in my phone, I don't keep. I don't know again. All right. Sometimes I forget, so I don't have any challenge.
Queen?
Yes. Okay. So in the fashion industry, we have a lot of girls. Okay, a lot of them. Even me, I have some that I like already. Yeah. Can you tell me who your mentor is?
In the fashion industry in Nigeria?
In Nigeria, international, locally, anyone?
When I started, I'm like an old block. I started fashion in 1993. People I was looking up to. When I started fashion, I studied a lot. There was a time I had to sit down to ask myself, I want to be very rich and successful. If I entered this fashion, then it was tailoring. There was no renowned fashion. And my papa sent me to school. He wants me to be an engineer. Okay? Will I be rich and what I want to be in this fashion that is haunting me? So my friend helped me, brought a book, a Times magazine that featured Giorgio Armani. And Versace. So I went through them, read, and I found out that they were richer than American presidents. And I saw there's a way, there's a mode they will pray. And I changed. That was when I decided to take up the vision to go into fashion. I saw there's a different way. As an educated person, it's not going to make my peers in school bigger than me. I'm actually going to be bigger than them. You understand?
Yeah, sure.
So from that day, If I go to the library to read, I read fashion books. Not my profession. I was sold out. My life changed. I knew that was it. My entire life, I wouldn't need anything else other than fashion. So I moved. You understand? People that helped me, shaping me up in terms of mentorship: Armani, Versace, Ralph Lauren.
Okay, what about Nigeria?
Nigeria, yes. Like I said, I used to what's this guy's name? This our tailor. His name is that used to be in Yaba. His name is leaving my head. I remember I'm so crazy that I'll take night bus or morning bus from Uyo to come to visit his shop.
Yaba. Moody.
Huh?
Moody.
No. Moody is still, he's still.
Surah.
Huh?
It's Surah.
He's a tailor. He traveled abroad. The wife was a supermodel. What's his?
I don't know.
The name is entering me. I remember in the course of the show, he left. He organized the very first fashion shows in Nigeria before Leslie Mojo, I think so, started. You understand? You understand?
Well, don't worry. I'm sure
you're right. Franco Shodi?
Franco Shodi?
No, not Franco Shodi. I mixed. Don't worry, I remember. So he was my very. I saw him make suits from every material, including nylon. I paid my way. Flight was nothing we could think of that time. Now, so my entire night bus came and met my cousin, said, take me to his shop. I want to see things. So he was one of my. Then I followed a lot of Nigerian designers that were based in UK. Ovation was our Bible that time, not when Ovation started featuring wedding. Ovation will feature the best and the biggest Nigerian fashion designers abroad. So Koshiba, okay, and if you, they said I can say some things I got from them that shaped my life. I was able to walk into Galaxy TV because I had when Koshiba was talking about how to promote yourself as a designer. I said TV stations and radio stations and magazines need content. I'm quoting him. If you have something good that they can publish, have the boldness to walk to them. They will feature you free of charge. They all need to air 24 hours. Since then, my leg got strength.
All right, let me ask you this quick question before we take a quick break, okay? So now your kind of fashion, is it for just women? What about children?
It's a fashion brand. Feron Aaron is a fashion brand that has evolved. I do everything. I'm super gifted.
Okay.
I delved into lingerie effortlessly, as in real lingerie, effortlessly. I have evolved from made to measure. When we started, it was made to measure, so to positioning as a brand, coming to Lagos, positioning as a brand, try to launch the ready to wear, it failed, try to relaunch, repackage, go back. So I do everything right from then. When you're doing made to measure, you're doing everything. I make beautiful. And don't forget, I was also, I floated a fashion academy, so I had courses in all of these areas and more. But now, coming to establish as a fashion brand, so we have to run it as it is done abroad. Have a signature line, define these collections and subsidiary lines. Okay. So, for now, there's no kids line ongoing now, except you want made to measure.
All right.
You understand?
Okay, so women like me that are plus size, who don't like to expose their body. You know, you were saying something about lingerie. Me, I don't like to wear things that expose my body. I hope you have something.
So you do wear booby to sleep?
No, listen, it's not. But why are you so concerned about going to bed, sleeping? Women like me, that when you go out, you know, the problem we have with plus size women here, and they don't. It's very difficult to get their outfits.
Yeah,
you go to every boutique, say, oh, I want my size. So
let me tell you why. Many people, I'm not talking down my colleagues, but that's the truth. I'm a professional.
Honestly,
In terms of knowledge,
issue.
if you scratch me, I'll give it to you deep. You will not. I remember when I wanted to do an interview with Google Africa, when I went, I called the say, come, don't ask me your name, your background and inspiration. I'm tired of those questions. If you can't ask questions, leave. Tell me to go. Now, this is why it is. It's not every person running fashion business that is a core professional designer in terms of the skill, technical skill. The woman's body is very difficult to navigate. Curves are a threat. That is why European designers internationally are comfortable with size 0 models. Tell them to dress a Nigerian woman, watch Oscar, the bulky women most times wear rubbish. It's not easy to create curves, contour a dress. Most designers today in Nigeria and abroad can't sew trousers for women. It's not easy to maneuver the curves.
So plus size women don't go wear clothes.
Except you meet a professional. That is my domain. You heard me say I don't like thin models. You have to be gifted. In fact, the gift took me to that lingerie because lingerie is intimate. It curves you, and so it's not the domain for every designer.
Well,
that's the challenge.
Yes, if you leave the fashion king Feron Aaron, he will take up all the time speaking about fashion. Now, I take a cue from him when he says he doesn't style slim models, or he doesn't like to style them. Not that he doesn't. I'm for the thick, I'm for the big, I'm for the bold and beautiful as well. We have Feron Aaron in the house, of course. People like Sade Thomas, who one of the people who started fashion in Nigeria. We have good people also who have made or put Nigeria on the map.